What's up? I'm Nova, and I'm gonna show you how I'll make my hair purple AF. I'm tired. I'm not streaming tonight, that's for sure. Am I talking to myself? Oh, hi. I'm a weirdo. What's up? I'm gonna show you how I dye my hair purple. So I'm gonna show you my whole dyeing process today. That sounds bad. I'm gonna show you how I dye my hair. This is how I keep my hair healthy. This is how I keep it bright purple all the time, and this is how I save a lot of money by not having to go into someone. All you have to do is buy the product. I'm going to put some links down below what I use on Amazon that everybody can get. I did a video like this a couple years ago. I think it's like 2.5 years ago now. I had really long hair, I had extensions, and I showed like my touch-up routine, but it didn't explain how I bleach my roots. It's also just changed over the years, and I've definitely learned a lot. I've been dyeing my hair for a long time. I don't pay a dime to anybody else. I just have to buy the product. But yeah, this is just how I do it. I just have to say, if you are doing this for the first time and you've not bleached your hair before, I would recommend, if you're needing to bleach your whole head, to go in for that appointment. Don't do your whole head by yourself. I don't even know how to do that. Ends are weaker than the roots, so it can break off easier. So just don't do that. Just FYI, I'm not like a professional, but I have been doing this a really long time. I went to a professional for like 6 years doing the exact same process every time. So not only did I watch her do it, but as things changed and we did trial and error of products, I was there for all of it and like really understand my hair at this point. You can apply this to any color. The only thing I would say is, if you already have a color and you're looking to bleach and like go a different color. I've only ever been purple for 8 years. I had my hair anniversary in August. 8 years is a long time to have one color, so it's pretty much just like stuck like this. Changing colors might be different, but yeah, let's just get right on into it. So I'm gonna let Hobo Nova take it from here. What's up, y'all? My hair is dirty as hell. I don't think I've washed my hair in like 10 days, which is a good thing. We're gonna start with bleaching. Basically having as much oil on your head, the better. I mean, my hair can stand like straight up. It's so freaking dirty. I have a mirror set up so I can see the back of my head. I use Pulp Riot now, which is kind of a new thing, but I like it so far. It's vegan and cruelty free and all that stuff, so that's kind of cool. And then this is 30 Developer. I use 30 just to give myself a little bit more time so I don't fry my hair off, because it does take a while. Like when you're doing it on your own, like getting the back of your head and everything, it's a thing. I've used 20 Developer before, and that was fine, but it had to stay on my head like a lot longer, and I don't think it lifted as much as I wanted. So 30 has been a good balance for me. So what we're gonna be doing is using this bowl and doing a 1 to 1.5 ratio. So it's 1 ratio. Here's my little scale. It's so cute. It says I love you on it. I just love myself so much. Basically, all I'm gonna do is put the bowl on the scale. It's a violet-based lightener, and it comes with a little scoop-de-doop. So I'm gonna do 1 scoop like this so that I can see how much this is. So 26 grams, that's quite a lot. Because now we're gonna be doing 26 times 0.15. How do I math? I never got past algebra 2. I know. 26 times 1.5 is 39. We have 26 grams of powder, and now we're gonna be using our 30 Developer, and we're gonna be I'm gonna zero out the scale and put 39 grams. I made a weird sound. Oh God, that's 42. Okay. Here's what we're working with here. There's a gloopy glop of lightener in there. So I'm just gonna start mixing. I'm also wearing kind of nice leggings. Rookie move. I'm definitely gonna add a little bit more Developer here. And I'm gonna need to section off my hair in a second here. I kind of just re-sectioning and re-pulling things up as I go. But I start with the back. This is kind of a controversial topic. I know a lot of people that start on the top, but the back of your head develops slower, just to give myself more time. By the way, if you are doing this your first time, section your hair off and bleach the bottom half, wash it, let it dry, and then bleach the top half. Like if you need more time, don't rush it. Don't leave it on for too long and then have a ton of breakage. Like I've done that before where I just didn't want to risk it and I stopped, washed it, and then did the next part. and just half your head's like blonde. It's weird, but give yourself the time because you wouldn't want to fry your hair off unless that's what you're going for. I don't know. It's a look. I still think it's a little thick. I'm gonna add a little bit more developer. I'm just kind of like trying to get to a certain consistency because this is gonna thicken up as it continues to sit here. I feel like we're done. End of video. It doesn't have to be perfect, but how you part your hair can determine if it gets splotchy or not, because that's when you miss sections. Okay, so I'm gonna roll with it like this. Basically, I'm just gonna start from about the center here, go down, and then start going from the top. And I kind of like to time myself and just be sure that I'm not going too over. So it's 3:30 right now. Let's try to get this done in 30 minutes, and then I'll sit like an extra 20, and we'll be at like 50 minutes. I don't know. And I'm gonna be wearing gloves. Bleach hurts on your fingers. It's not nice. Clean off my brush here just because it's like already a freaking mess. By the way, I have everything like super covered in towels. I just take the brush and apply the product. It's about an inch of growth right now. The goal is to just kind of go as fast as possible. Try not to go past your roots too much. However, I go down a little bit farther than I see. So then I just lift up a spot and do the underneath and just saturate it like as good as I can. And I use like the back of my brush or my whatever, the bottom of my brush to kind of go in and make the next part. And then I just keep going with this. I'm not doing like the thinnest sections ever. I would say if you flip it over and you can't see bleach at all from what you just did, then it's too thick of a piece. I'm just taking, I don't know, an amount. And I think just saturating it more than you think is the way to go. I just keep going with this forever. I'm just saturating the bottom part, making a part, and then saturating the other side. And once you get going, like it's pretty much just staying like up. I'm not even having to clip it. I'm so used to streaming and being able to like look at a chat. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not paying attention to chat. Mwah, there is no chat today. We're definitely starting with the hardest part. I would also recommend if you are doing this for the first time and you don't just have roots to touch up and it's like the whole thing, go to a salon at least your first few times, because what works for my hair might not work for yours, like 30 might not work for you, or just go for it. I mean, I can't control you. So I'm also going to be cutting my hair today. It's the easiest cut ever. It's just like a straight across blunt cut. But I'm really proud that I can do it myself now. I can do my whole hair process myself, and that's pretty exciting. So I don't use a toner. I'm going to purple right after this. Don't worry about it if it's a little brassy because the purple covers it right up. But if you are putting like a lighter color, you're gonna have to look into that, because the one time I used a toner, it did not work out. It did not develop correctly. Cool, so we got the back. Just gonna kind of go like this. Make sure it's all zhuzhed in there and got all the baby hairs. Yeah, ow. Undo all these clips. I'm gonna make one more section for the back just to make sure that I get all the way across properly. So nice. I actually did a good job. I'm just gonna keep going until I reach the spot that I started. I'm probably gonna time lapse this part, so I should stop talking to myself because I'm just gonna be like, God, why am I so weird? So I think the back is good. Now I'm gonna move to the top, and speed is key. So I'm just gonna keep rolling. This is the part where I start looking like a bald man. Shout out to my dad, he'd be proud. So now at this point, I do a part in the center and just start working my way from the center. My bangs are so messed up. Can we just take a moment? Like, yes. I actually don't really need the light. I'm high tech, I have a smart house. Basically, I'm just gonna start in the middle. Then for the back part, which there is still a little bit on the back, gonna get this front started. So cute. Again, I'm just making sure I saturate it. So, oh my God, it looks like I have a bald spot. Ah! I'm attractive. So basically, I'm just doing this to the point that I stopped. Again, I'm just gonna make sure it's totally saturated. All the parts are getting cool. And then I basically just pick a side, which I'm gonna pick this side because I might have to turn around for the other side. This is about the size I've been parting off this whole time. You can kind of see. Smaller is better, but like for me doing it myself, it just takes too long. So I just saturate it like extra. And then again, I'm gonna follow this part back and just keep splitting it as I go. And then I'm just kind of taking the bleach off of my forehead a little bit because that itches. And then I make sure I get all my little baby hairs up front here. Been 30 minutes just now, and I still have this whole front of my head to do, but I still think we're making good time because in the past it's taken an hour to just do the back, and that's why I had to stop and rinse off my hair. When I put it on my brush, I realized I'm not really showing you. I just like do this, dab it off a little bit. It's about that much that I put on, just kind of like rotating my brush to get it on, get all of the product from both sides from the brush onto my head. Oh my God, I'm a half bald dude. So I'm kind of running out of bleach, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip everything over and start going this way. I'm just going to use the rest of this. I want to be sure that my mixture isn't different. I don't know if that made sense. I'm really focused right now. Yeah, so I didn't explain that well at all, but basically I'm going to use the rest of this batch on the right side of my head. And before I make a new batch and finish these sides around by my ears, I wanted to do even parts on both sides of this mixture, just in case for some reason the next one was a little bit more diluted. Yeah, I stopped before I got down to my ears because I just wanted to make sure that the other side gets the same batch. Yeah. Yay! We're looking good, guys. Okay. I realized I have my bleach like right next to my curtains. Dumb. The point is just to get all the little lumps out, really. This looks pretty good right now. Yeah! Let's finish up this side. See a couple splotches, so I'm just gonna make sure that that's totally covered. So blonde. Yes. This side is done. Now let's finish this side. This is the new look. What even is happening? By the way, you're seeing my hair turn blue. This is not gonna happen to you. The only reason why it's turning blue is I started using this shampoo conditioner depositing thing. Ever since I started using that, when I bleach my hair, there must be something in it that reacts with the bleach and makes my hair turn blue. So just so that you're not freaking out, like there's a lot of like blue happening. Yay! It's like coming up on an hour now. I think we did it. I'm just gonna kind of go through and check how everything's doing and see if I see any brown spots left. I think we did good, y'all. This is a little darker blonde right here. Just gonna put a little bit more on. Cool. So it all looks really good to me. I'm going to take this plastic bag and suffocate myself. No, I'm just kidding. I want to live! Queen! So basically, I'm just using the heat of my head to kind of accelerate what's going on the top because that's been on like least long. Just gonna let this sit probably for another like 10 minutes. Not very long, and then I'll check it, then maybe leave it for another 5, but probably not. It seems to be lifting pretty quickly. And then I'm gonna wash my hair, and you can't come for that. So I just got out of the shower, and I'm bald. No, I'm just kidding. Everything's looking pretty good to me. I use Pureology Best Blonde, which is basically a purple shampoo, which can help take away like any brassiness or whatever. It's purple, but it doesn't make your hair purple, obviously. I wish. It looks a lot brassier on camera than it is in real life. This is basically as light as I really need it to get to put more purple on. I'm gonna be letting this air dry. I don't like to blow dry it just because it was just like bleached, you know? So I use this purple shampoo. I washed it twice. I don't condition, and this is like a really, really important step. Conditioner will fill up the hair follicle, basically leaving less room for the dye that we're about to put on it. My hair's done, guys. Just kidding. I did kind of blow dry it at the end a little bit to get it to finish up. It is ready for the purple, which is the most fun, bestest part. Or whatever color you're doing. I don't discriminate. The first thing that everybody asks me is what brand of purple I use. The answer is really any semi-permanent purple dye. I do have some vegan cruelty-free lines here, but any of them are gonna work just about the same. I use a variety just depending on like what's on sale or where I can get stuff. The first one that I'm gonna talk about is Pravana Vivids. This is one that I've been using forever now. This is the purple tourmaline. If you watch my video from like 2 years ago, I showed you how I dye my hair purple, like for touch-ups. I was mixing the wild orchid with the violet, but then I found this purple tourmaline and it's pretty much perfect. So this is one that I use. I think this is also the cheapest out of all of these. The next brand that I use is Matrix So Color Cult. Again, these are semi-permanents, and it's these two colors here, the tropical violet and blooming orchid. This is kind of like a mixing situation for me again. Then the Pulp Riot dye, this is the semi-permanent stuff again. These are cruelty-free vegan lines, and this is the color Jam, which I don't know if I've used this one before or not. So we're gonna see how I like this one. I'd say just experiment with a bunch of different ones of these semi-permanents because you can't go wrong. I'm gonna use the, what is it? Pravana, but let's just get into it. And it's just you take off the cap and punch it open. I just literally put it in the bowl. Just for funsies, I think I'm gonna put a little bit of this blooming orchid in. It's more warm than I want, so I'm gonna add some cool. So yeah, once you get the color that you want, always go just a little bit darker, especially for roots because they're not purple yet, and my ends are. So I always start with a little bit darker of a mix, and I think it's looking perfect, honestly. Yeah, let's get to it. I take this darker mixture, put it only on my roots. I mean, I pull it through a little bit, but mostly only on my roots, and you can kind of just go crazy with it. Ah! Oh God, that is still pretty red. Okay, I'm gonna add a little more violet. There we go. Yes! The key with this is saturate, saturate, saturate.
Saturate.
You can't put too much, especially on the blonde part. It's gonna be a little bit lighter right on the top the first time I dye it. Like, it's not until that second touch up that usually you can't tell the difference. This is always gonna be a little bit darker. So I'm not gonna have to pull much through my ends, to be honest, this time. So that's kind of good.
I look like a pancake.
It's not a good look for me. I think I even need to add more violet. Oh crap, it's not what I wanted either. What am I doing? Focus!
Got a pancake on my head. Pancakes! I love freaking pancakes.
Yes, much better. So yeah, I'm using the same brush, same technique, just like how I did the bleach. It's a very common misconception that these semi-permanent colors are what is so damaging to your hair, and it's not. These are depositing products. They're only putting product into your hair follicle, and sure, maybe it's better not to put anything in your hair, but it's not damaging. It's the bleach part that is. So you can really go crazy with this. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of section some things off. I'm gonna do bigger pieces, but especially at the front here, I'm just gonna make sure it's really, 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 really saturated. I look so dumb. Okay. It's just not gonna be cute right now. And by the way, I am starting on the top of my head because that's the part that I care about most. Just in case anybody was wondering why with the bleach I started in the back and this with the front, it's kind of because the opposite is what I want. I would just prefer this to process longer so that it's as purple as possible. And if you care about not having your ears and face turn purple, put a little bit of petroleum jelly, Vaseline, Aquaphor stuff around the areas that you don't want to, and that will kind of block it from absorbing in your skin, but I don't care. That was a nice save. Fell on my towel. And to the other side. Alexa, make stage light 100%. Kind of doesn't help me right now. Alexa, turn off stage lamp.
Did you mean stage light?
Yeah. I mean stage light. So I'm still gonna add a little bit more violet, like straight up right here. There's no time constraint with this, so you can totally take your time. Compared to when we were bleaching, with this, it's like, it either purple or it's not. So I started making a new mix here, and I was explaining how if this batch isn't totally perfect to the first batch, it's fine because I already got the top of my head evenly with the first batch. So if the color is a little bit different, at least it's on the back and on the underneath side in one full section, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I explained that really poorly, so hi. I'm gonna flip around, and maybe you'll actually be able to see this a little bit. Yay! It's officially a tutorial. So now I'm gonna start taking this dye and pulling it through. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to section my hair into fourths. Just kind of twist them. So yeah, this is a look. I'm just gonna take the rest of this dye and put it in my hand, like a good amount, but that like won't flick across the room, you know? And then I'm gonna take one of the sections, pulling it through and saturating it, and just kind of see if everything is totally covered. One little bun done. One little bun in the oven, baby. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing for the other 3 sections. Yay! And tradition around here. I sound like Sean Evans on Hot Ones. Aggressively! Put your ends in the bowl, and we gonna get every little bit, baby. Yes! Feeling myself. Basically, we're gonna be letting this sits for as long as possible. Chillax for probably 45 minutes to an hour because you really can't leave this stuff on for too long. The only thing I have to say is if it dries out, it's pretty much done processing. I'm gonna be purple AF in a minute here. I just got out of the shower. So I washed my hair. A few tricks that I have. The bleach, you can wash it as many times, pretty much with whatever. I mean, if you want to use the purple shampoo, you can, but you don't have to. But specifically for washing color out, I rinse it with cool to lukewarm, coolish water. And that helps the follicles stay closed rather than when they're warm, they kind of open up and then more color releases. So I also leave my gloves on for this. And then I use this shampoo, Colorproof brand, which is the same dude that made Pureology. Really any color specific sulfate-free shampoo is fine. I've gone between this, Pureology. If you need like a cheaper budget shampoo, you can use Redken color line, whatever. It's like the pink bottles. It's not that expensive. It's cheaper than these guys. The Pureology and the Colorproof are cruelty-free vegan stuff. I need to switch it up every once in a while. Then I rinse it out with cold water, and I only shampoo once because I just want to keep as much color in as possible, especially when just bleaching my roots. Then I use this for no particular reason, honestly. It's just like a coconut oil hair mask. Do not use more than twice a week. Oh, wow, I've never read that before. But basically I just use a really good conditioner or hair mask and leave that in my hair for a little while I'm washing my body and whatever. And then I rinse that out again with lukewarm to cool water. It is looking a little bit lighter at the roots, but it could just still be wet, so we're gonna have to see. I'm going to cut my hair, which I decided I'm gonna put in another video. I'll leave it in a card. Oh my God, I'm like a YouTuber. So I'm gonna cut my hair. You can watch this video if you care about cutting your own hair. It's a totally kind of different thing. Magically, this is gonna be done and you're gonna see the final result. YouTuber.
Someone give me the slow-mo.
Oh my gosh, it's magic, you know. I cut my hair. I made another video on that. Again, it's in the card or the description. Why am I doing this? My hair color is pretty freaking even. Here back in the back, you can see a little bit, I missed a spot. Oops. This seems to be a problematic side of my head for me because when I was cutting it, this side was hard too. But overall, I think it turned out really good. But you tell me if you think it sucks and there's a better way to do it, help a girl out. But yeah, this is my routine. If you have any questions about the hair process, let me know. I am gonna leave all the products in the description. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do it, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time. I don't know what else to say. My hair's purple now. It wasn't before and now it is. I need some food.